What if I told you there's a way of living that has stood the test of time for over 2,000 years, offering profound wisdom that feels just as relevant today as it did in ancient Greece and Rome? A way of thinking that has guided emperors, warriors, writers, and even modern-day thinkers toward clarity, resilience, and purpose. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, it's a practical roadmap for navigating life's challenges, mastering emotions, and finding peace in the chaos of everyday existence. In this video, we'll uncover 15 surprising facts about the Stoic way of life that might just change how you see the world. From the secrets of emotional strength to the unexpected connections between Stoicism and some of today's most effective self-help strategies, these insights will not only reveal the depth of this fascinating philosophy, but also show how you can apply its timeless lessons to your own life. So, stick around to discover how Stoicism continues to inspire people across centuries and cultures, and who knows, perhaps you'll find some wisdom that resonates deeply with your own journey. Let's dive in. Now turning to our first surprising fact about Stoicism, it's time to address one of the biggest misconceptions, that Stoicism is all about suppressing emotions and living an emotionless, robotic life. This couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism doesn't reject emotions. Instead, it teaches how to master them. It's about understanding your feelings, acknowledging them, and using reason to guide your actions rather than being ruled by emotional impulses. Imagine being stuck in traffic after a long day at work. Frustration bubbles up, but as a Stoic, you would pause, recognize that the traffic is outside your control, and choose not to let your anger dictate your mood. Instead, you might use that time to practice patience or listen to something uplifting. The same principle applies when dealing with workplace stress. A Stoic approach would involve acknowledging the pressure, focusing on what you can do to improve the situation, and letting go of the rest. This emphasis on emotional mastery gives you the tools to navigate life's challenges with calmness and clarity, transforming how you react to daily struggles. Now turning to the origins of the word Stoic, it comes from Stoa Poikile, which translates to painted porch in ancient Greek. This was no ordinary porch, it was a grand and vibrant public space in Athens adorned with colorful frescoes depicting historic battles and mythological scenes. Imagine walking along this open and inviting space with its tall columns and intricate artwork as the sounds of lively discussions echo under the Athenian sky. It was here, amidst this bustling yet tranquil environment, that Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, began teaching his philosophy. Choosing this setting was no accident. The Stoa Poikile was a place where people from all walks of life could gather, exchange ideas, and reflect on deeper truths. This openness and accessibility reflect the core values of Stoicism itself: composure, reason, and harmony. The serene and composed atmosphere of the painted porch beautifully mirrors the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy deeply rooted in tranquility and thoughtful discussion. This connection reminds us that Stoicism is not about detachment from the world, but about engaging with it thoughtfully and wisely. Moving forward, let us explore how Stoicism gained its appeal among some of history's most influential figures. Moving forward, let us delve into how Stoicism captured the hearts of some of history's most powerful leaders, including Roman emperors. Among them, Marcus Aurelius stands out as a shining example. Imagine this: an emperor responsible for ruling a vast empire, navigating wars, plagues, and political complexities, yet guided not by greed or conquest, but by a philosophy rooted in wisdom and inner peace. For Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism was more than an abstract idea. It was a way of life. Each day, he practiced self-reflection, penning his thoughts and struggles in what would later become the celebrated work we know as Meditations. These personal writings, never intended for publication, reveal a man dedicated to remaining just, rational, and calm amidst the chaos of ruling an empire. Stoicism appealed to Marcus Aurelius because it offered clarity, a framework for focusing on what truly mattered while letting go of what was beyond his control. Picture him seated in quiet contemplation, perhaps in a palace garden at dusk, reflecting on the vastness of the cosmos and the fleeting nature of human concerns. His commitment to Stoicism not only shaped his decisions but also left us timeless wisdom on leadership and resilience. Now, let us explore one of Stoicism's most practical teachings, a principle that helps us master life's uncertainties with grace. Now turning to one of Stoicism's most foundational teachings, we arrive at the principle of distinguishing between what you can and cannot control, known as the dichotomy of control. At its core, this idea encourages us to focus our efforts and energy on things within our influence while learning to let go of the rest. Think of it this way. In life, some things are entirely up to us, like our actions, choices, and responses, while others, such as the opinions of others, the weather, or unexpected events, are completely outside our control. Imagine you receive harsh criticism at work. The initial reaction might be frustration or defensiveness, but a Stoic would pause and reflect. They would recognize that while they cannot control the words or thoughts of others, they can control how they respond. Instead of wasting energy trying to change someone's opinion, they might focus on assessing whether the critique is valid, and if so, use it as an opportunity for growth. Similarly, consider dealing with a delayed flight. Instead of spiraling into anger over something unchangeable, a Stoic might use the time to read, rest, or connect with loved ones. By shifting focus to what is within your sphere of influence, you not only conserve energy but also cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. The dichotomy of control empowers us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace, teaching us that true freedom lies in mastering our own minds rather than trying to control the uncontrollable. With this practice in mind, let us now explore how Stoicism goes beyond reflection, urging us to take deliberate and courageous action in our daily lives. Moving forward, let us dispel the myth that Stoicism is merely a philosophy of detached contemplation. While reflection and self-awareness are vital aspects of Stoic practice, this philosophy places equal emphasis on action, deliberate, meaningful action that aligns with the virtues of courage, justice, and self-discipline. The Stoics believed that wisdom was not complete until it was put into practice. For example, courage is not just an abstract idea. It is demonstrated when you face fears or challenges head-on, whether that's standing up for a colleague in an unfair situation or making a difficult but ethical decision at work. Justice, another key virtue, is about striving to treat others fairly and doing what is right regardless of personal cost. This could look like speaking out against wrongdoing or ensuring that your actions benefit not just yourself but also the people around you. And then there's self-discipline, a trait we often associate with Stoicism. It extends beyond resisting temptations. It's about showing restraint and focus in all aspects of life, whether it's sticking to your commitments, maintaining a balanced perspective during stressful times, or staying consistent in your efforts to improve. The Stoics taught that true wisdom means understanding the right thing to do and taking the necessary steps to make it happen. For them, philosophy was not an escape from life's challenges. It was a guide to navigating them with integrity and purpose. They believed that actions, not just thoughts, reveal who we are. By committing to these principles, we can live intentionally, making choices that reflect the very best of ourselves. Now, having explored the active side of Stoicism, let us delve into an intriguing practice that strengthens resilience and gratitude, the art of voluntary discomfort. Now turning to the art of voluntary discomfort, we discover one of the most fascinating and practical exercises in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that by deliberately exposing ourselves to mild hardships, we could strengthen our resilience and cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for the comforts we often take for granted. This could involve simple practices such as skipping a meal to experience hunger, taking a cold shower to embrace physical discomfort, or even wearing less comfortable clothing to reflect on the luxury of choice we usually enjoy. These intentional acts were not about inflicting suffering, but about training the mind and body to adapt to adversity with grace. For example, fasting taught the Stoics self-control and reminded them of how fortunate they were to have food at all. Similarly, enduring temporary physical discomfort helped them prepare mentally for life's inevitable challenges, building both toughness and perspective. In today's modern world, this practice finds parallels in trends like minimalism, where people voluntarily simplify their lives to focus on what truly matters, or resilience training, which involves controlled exposure to stressors to strengthen mental and physical fortitude. Imagine the clarity and composure that arise when you willingly step outside your comfort zone. It rewires your mindset, making you less reliant on external conditions for happiness and more capable of adapting to change. By embracing voluntary discomfort, Stoics argue, we equip ourselves to face life's larger adversities with greater calm and composure. It is a proactive way to remind ourselves of the strength we already hold within and the privileges we often overlook. With this empowering practice in mind, let us now explore a principle that lies at the heart of Stoic living: harmony with nature. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into the Stoic idea of living according to nature, a principle that has intrigued and guided countless individuals through the ages. At its core, this concept encourages us to align our lives with the natural order of the world, which encompasses both human reason and the interconnectedness of all living things. For Stoics, to live according to nature means to embrace rationality, to act in harmony with our true purpose as beings capable of reason and virtue, and to respect the natural world of which we are an inseparable part. Imagine a life where decisions are not driven by fleeting desires or societal pressures, but by thoughtful reflection on what is essential, authentic, and meaningful. This perspective challenges us to strip away distractions and focus on living in accordance with our internal values and the universal laws of nature. On one level, this might look like practicing self-discipline and seeking wisdom to navigate personal choices with integrity. On another, it urges us to consider how our actions affect the greater ecosystem, advocating for a life of balance and respect for the environment. Today, the call to live according to nature resonates profoundly as more people adopt sustainable lifestyles and seek to minimize their impact on the planet. From reducing waste to choosing renewable energy sources, these efforts echo the Stoic belief in acting responsibly and in alignment with the natural world. Moreover, this ideal encourages us to find contentment not in material excess, but in simplicity and gratitude for what nature provides. By living authentically and in harmony with both our rational minds and the environment, we cultivate a life of purpose, resilience, and peace. With this timeless principle in mind, let us now turn to another profound idea that shaped the Stoic way of life: the transformative power of loving one's fate. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us explore the Stoic concept of Amor Fati, or the love of fate. This profound idea teaches us not only to accept the events of life, whether pleasant or challenging, but to embrace them fully as necessary and purposeful. For Stoics, every occurrence, no matter how difficult, is seen as an essential piece of the larger puzzle that shapes our lives. Rather than dwelling on what could have been or resisting what is, Amor Fati encourages us to view each moment as an opportunity for growth. It is a mindset rooted in resilience and gratitude, transforming obstacles into stepping stones toward greater strength and wisdom. Imagine facing an unexpected setback, such as the loss of a job or a failed relationship. Instead of succumbing to despair, Amor Fati invites us to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this experience serve my development? The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius exemplified this mentality in his meditations, often reflecting on how life's trials were essential for cultivating virtue and wisdom. Another example is the philosopher Epictetus, who endured a life of slavery yet reframed his hardships as a means to master self-control and inner freedom. By practicing Amor Fati, we shift our focus from wishing for a different reality to appreciating the value of the reality we have. This perspective is not about passive resignation, but active engagement with life, finding meaning and purpose in every twist and turn. In today's world, this mindset can help us navigate uncertainties with grace, whether it is adapting to a career change, overcoming personal loss, or even embracing shifts in societal norms. By loving our fate, we empower ourselves to face life's unpredictability with courage and optimism. With this transformative philosophy in mind, let us now turn to another revolutionary Stoic insight: the idea that Stoicism is accessible to all, regardless of religious or spiritual beliefs. Now turning to the idea that Stoicism is accessible to all, one of its most remarkable qualities lies in its secular foundation. Unlike many ancient philosophies or belief systems intertwined with specific religious traditions, Stoicism does not demand adherence to any particular theology. This makes it universally applicable whether you are religious, spiritual, or entirely secular in your outlook. At its core, Stoicism is a philosophy rooted in reason, ethics, and the pursuit of a virtuous life. It focuses on practical tools for managing emotions, making wise decisions, and living with integrity, principles that transcend cultural and religious boundaries. Take, for example, the teachings of Epictetus, who emphasized the importance of cultivating inner freedom and clarity. His message revolves around self-mastery and aligning actions with values, concepts that resonate deeply regardless of one's spiritual beliefs. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who practiced Stoicism, often reflected on the interconnectedness of humanity and the universe, presenting ideas that could be appreciated by individuals of any faith or none at all. The lack of religious exclusivity in Stoicism not only broadens its appeal, but also strengthens its relevance in today's diverse and globalized world. Whether you identify as a Christian, Muslim, atheist, or agnostic, the guiding principles of Stoicism, such as distinguishing between what you can and cannot control or practicing gratitude and acceptance, are universally relatable. Even in today's era, Stoic philosophy aligns effortlessly with modern values like inclusivity and personal growth. It allows individuals to draw strength and clarity from its lessons without feeling any need to change their existing worldview. For instance, someone who believes in a divine plan might find Stoic principles complementary, while someone with a scientific perspective can view its frameworks as a logical, evidence-based approach to life. This inclusiveness is what makes Stoicism so enduring and timeless. It speaks to all who seek wisdom and balance in their lives. With this broad, welcoming foundation, let us now explore how Stoicism has even influenced modern therapeutic practices, bridging ancient wisdom with contemporary psychology. Now turning to how Stoicism has shaped modern therapeutic techniques. One of its most fascinating contributions is its influence on cognitive behavioral therapy. Both Stoicism and this modern approach share a common goal: helping individuals manage their thoughts, emotions, and actions to lead a more fulfilling life. At the heart of this connection lies the Stoic practice of examining and reframing negative thoughts, a principle mirrored in cognitive behavioral therapy. For instance, Epictetus taught that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but rather our interpretations of those events. This idea is central to cognitive behavioral therapy, which encourages individuals to challenge unhelpful thought patterns and replace them with more constructive ones. Imagine a scenario where you feel rejected after a job interview. A Stoic approach, much like cognitive behavioral therapy, would guide you to question whether the rejection truly reflects your self-worth or if it is simply an external event beyond your control. By shifting your perspective, you can move forward with resilience and clarity. Both traditions emphasize personal responsibility in shaping how we respond to life's challenges. In another parallel, cognitive behavioral therapy often uses techniques like thought records, where individuals write down their automatic thoughts and analyze them for distortions. This mirrors the Stoic practice of journaling, where figures like Marcus Aurelius reflected daily on their thoughts and actions to cultivate wisdom and self-discipline. These tools, ancient and modern, empower individuals to step back from immediate emotional reactions and adopt a more reasoned and balanced perspective. The alignment between Stoicism and cognitive behavioral therapy demonstrates how deeply relevant Stoic principles remain. By bridging ancient wisdom with contemporary psychology, this connection offers timeless strategies for mental well-being that anyone can apply today. With that in mind, let us now explore how Stoic teachings resonate with our understanding of mortality and the practice of facing death with acceptance and grace. As the next phase of the journey unfolds, we delve into the Stoic view of death, a perspective that may initially seem unsettling but holds profound wisdom for living a meaningful life. For Stoics, reflecting on mortality was not a morbid fixation but a crucial exercise in clarity and purpose. They believed that regularly contemplating the inevitability of death, a practice known as Memento Mori, could serve as a powerful reminder to cherish each moment and prioritize what truly matters. Rather than avoiding thoughts of mortality, Stoics embraced them as a means to sharpen their focus on the present and align their actions with their values. Imagine pausing briefly in your daily routine to remind yourself that time is finite. This awareness encourages you to spend your energy on what brings you fulfillment rather than being consumed by trivial distractions or grudges. Inspirational figures like Marcus Aurelius often reflected on life's brevity in his writings, urging us to act with urgency and intention. In modern times, the concept of Memento Mori has found new life through practices such as carrying a Memento Mori coin or engaging with tools that prompt us to consider the impermanence of life. These reminders are not intended to evoke fear but to inspire gratitude and mindfulness in how we live each day. By embracing the Stoic perspective on death, we are not succumbing to despair but instead reclaiming our power to live purposefully. This practice teaches us to let go of what we cannot control and focus on what we can, how we choose to spend our finite time. With this in mind, let us now turn to another common misconception about Stoicism, its relationship with wealth and whether living as a Stoic means renouncing material success. Now turning to the relationship between wealth and Stoicism, let us dispel a common myth that being a Stoic means rejecting material success or embracing poverty. In truth, the Stoics viewed wealth as something neutral, neither inherently good nor evil. They taught that it is not wealth itself, but how we use it that matters. Wealth, they said, is like a tool. It can be used for good or bad purposes, depending on the character of the individual wielding it. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, one of the wealthiest men of his time, often wrote about this balance. Despite his immense riches, he consistently warned against being enslaved by material possessions. To him, wealth was not a goal but a responsibility. He believed it should be used wisely in service to others and never at the expense of inner peace. The Stoic approach to wealth emphasizes detachment, not rejection. It is not about shunning success or prosperity, but about maintaining control over one's desires and ensuring that external riches do not dictate one's internal state. This perspective is particularly relevant today in a world where consumerism often equates possessions with happiness. Stoicism reminds us that true contentment cannot be bought. By focusing on virtues like wisdom and self-discipline, we ensure that wealth, if it comes, serves us rather than controls us. Famous examples like Seneca demonstrate that it is possible to be both prosperous and principled, showing us that living according to Stoic ideals does not require abandoning financial success. As we reflect on this balanced view of wealth, we are drawn to explore the deeper roots of Stoic virtue and how these timeless principles continue to shape the way we live. Now turning to the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism, we find the foundation upon which the entire philosophy rests: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are not abstract ideals but practical guides for living a balanced and meaningful life. Wisdom, the first virtue, involves the pursuit of knowledge and the ability to make sound judgments. In practice, this could mean seeking to understand a situation fully before making a decision, such as taking the time to listen during a disagreement instead of reacting impulsively. Courage, the second virtue, is not just about physical bravery but also about moral strength, like standing up for your principles even when it is unpopular or admitting when you are wrong. Justice, the third virtue, emphasizes fairness and treating others with respect. This could manifest in everyday life as simple acts of kindness, like helping a neighbor or ensuring that everyone feels included in a group setting. Finally, temperance, the fourth virtue, is all about self-control and moderation. In modern terms, this might mean resisting the urge to overindulge in food, technology, or other distractions, instead striving for balance in all areas of life. Together, these virtues create a roadmap for ethical and purposeful living. By practicing them consistently, we not only improve ourselves but also contribute to a more harmonious society. What makes these virtues so powerful is their universality and timelessness. They remain as relevant today as they were in ancient times. By embodying wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we align ourselves with the core principles of Stoicism, creating a strong foundation for navigating the complexities of modern life. As we explore these virtues further, it becomes clear how they connect to broader Stoic teachings, encouraging us to consider not only our own well-being, but also our responsibility to others and the world around us. Moving forward, let us delve into the influence of hierarchs and his enlightening concept of concentric circles. This idea begins with the self at the center, then gradually expands outward to include family, community, and eventually all of humanity. The model encourages us to view ourselves as part of a larger interconnected whole, where our actions ripple outward and affect countless others. To put it simply, it starts with practicing kindness and understanding toward yourself, then extending that same care to your family, your neighbors, your local community, and beyond. For example, imagine helping a close friend through a tough time. This act of compassion strengthens your relationship with them and, in turn, inspires them to extend kindness to others in their life. Over time, these actions contribute to creating a more empathetic and harmonious society. Hierarchal's model is a call to broaden our perspective and see that each person we meet is not a stranger but part of this shared human experience. It reminds us to bridge the gap between us and them, nurturing a sense of unity with individuals we might otherwise overlook. By practicing this mindset, we cultivate compassion not just for those within our immediate circle, but for humanity as a whole, fostering a deeper sense of empathy and understanding in our daily interactions. This idea remains strikingly relevant today, urging us to think beyond our personal concerns and embrace a more inclusive view of the world. Through Hierarchal's circle model, we are reminded that no act of kindness is too small, for its impact extends far beyond what we can see. And as this concept seamlessly ties into the broader values of Stoicism, it invites us to reflect on how interconnectedness shapes the way we live and engage with the world around us. Now turning to the final fact, Stoicism has a self-help element that predates modern self-help books by centuries, providing timeless tools for living a fulfilled and meaningful life. One such tool is the practice of journaling, which Stoics like Marcus Aurelius famously used to reflect on their thoughts, actions, and emotions. This wasn't about creating a polished diary for others to read, but rather an honest and personal exercise in self-awareness and growth. Each day, they would write down their reflections, what they learned, and how they could improve, fostering a deeper understanding of their values and priorities. Imagine incorporating this into your own life by taking a few minutes each evening to jot down your thoughts on how you handled the day's challenges or what you could do better tomorrow. Another powerful Stoic practice is called negative visualization, where instead of fearing the worst, you calmly imagine it beforehand. This exercise helps you prepare mentally and emotionally, making real-life obstacles feel less daunting. For instance, if you are nervous about a big presentation at work, you might visualize things going wrong, like forgetting your lines or technical issues. By facing those fears in your mind, you desensitize yourself to them and can approach the actual event with greater clarity and confidence. These methods encourage us to take an active role in shaping our lives, offering practical steps to build resilience, gratitude, and inner peace. Stoicism teaches that growth does not come from ignoring life's challenges, but from facing them head-on with thoughtful preparation and reflection. Through journaling, we gain insight into our inner world, and with negative visualization, we strengthen our ability to navigate external uncertainties. These practices highlight the deeply practical nature of Stoicism, making it more than just a philosophy. It's a guide to becoming the best version of ourselves. As we uncover these ancient yet surprisingly modern tools, we see how Stoicism bridges the gap between lofty ideals and everyday life, proving its enduring relevance in helping us thrive amidst life's complexities and uncertainties. Now turning to a deeper exploration of emotional strength over emotion suppression, Stoicism offers powerful tools that help us process emotions rather than ignore or suppress them. At the heart of this is the Stoic practice of imagining the worst-case scenario, or as the Stoics called it, premeditatio malorum. This exercise invites you to calmly and thoughtfully picture potential challenges or setbacks before they occur, not to dwell in worry or negativity, but to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. For example, imagine you have an important interview coming up. Instead of fixating on the fear of failure, you might visualize scenarios like being asked a tough question or experiencing a moment of nervousness. By confronting these possibilities in your mind, you reduce their emotional impact if they happen in reality, and equip yourself with strategies to respond thoughtfully. This practice builds resilience by teaching you to accept life's uncertainties without letting them overwhelm you. Another way Stoicism nurtures emotional strength is by encouraging us to reframe situations and focus on what is within our control. Imagine you are stuck in traffic and running late for an appointment. Instead of giving in to frustration, a Stoic would reflect on the fact that while you cannot control the traffic, you can control how you respond to it. You might use that time to take a few deep breaths, listen to a favorite audiobook, or simply accept the situation as it is. This simple shift in perspective transforms potential stress into an opportunity for growth. By combining practices like premeditatio malorum and reframing, Stoicism helps us navigate life's emotional highs and lows with greater clarity and composure. It reminds us that emotions are not the enemy. Instead, they are signals that, when understood and managed, can lead us toward meaningful action and inner peace. As we embrace these tools, we learn that true strength lies not in suppressing what we feel, but in mastering how we respond, allowing us to face life's complexities with grace and wisdom. Now turning to a vivid exploration of the Stoa Poikile, let us uncover the origins of this significant site and its connection to Stoicism. The name itself, Stoa Poikile, translates to the painted porch, a public space in ancient Athens where Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, first delivered his teachings. Imagine walking through this iconic place. The Stoa Poikile was an open, covered walkway adorned with intricate murals depicting scenes of history and mythology. It was a hub of intellectual exchange, a space where people from all walks of life could gather to listen, discuss, and learn. It symbolized accessibility and openness, key values of Stoic philosophy. Unlike secluded schools of thought, Zeno chose this public setting to emphasize that Stoic wisdom was not reserved for the elite. but meant for anyone seeking to live a virtuous and meaningful life. This deliberate choice of location reflected the Stoics' belief in engaging with the world around them rather than retreating from it. The painted porch was not only a place for philosophical inquiry, but also a bustling community space where merchants, artists, and everyday citizens crossed paths. This intersection of diverse people and ideas enriched the conversations held there, reinforcing the Stoic ideal of learning from one another without prejudice. As you picture this vibrant scene, you might sense how the values of the Stoa Poikile transcend time, reminding us of the importance of open dialogue and shared wisdom in our own lives. By rooting their teachings in such an accessible and dynamic environment, the Stoics demonstrated their commitment to practical philosophy, one that could be lived and applied by anyone, anywhere. Moving forward, let us explore how the wisdom born in these ancient spaces resonated with some of history's most influential leaders. Now turning to the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and his work, Meditations, we uncover a masterpiece of introspection and guidance. Written as a series of personal reflections, this text was never intended for publication, making it an authentic glimpse into the mind of a ruler grappling with immense responsibility. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, used these writings to reinforce Stoic principles in his daily life, offering a wealth of insights that remain remarkably relevant today. Take, for example, his quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This speaks directly to modern struggles with burnout or feeling overwhelmed by external pressures. In a world filled with notifications, deadlines, and expectations, Marcus's reminder to focus on inner control is a call to reclaim our mental space. Another profound lesson comes from his words, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This is a challenge to stop overthinking and instead take action, a principle that resonates deeply in a society often paralyzed by comparison or self-doubt. His reflections also carry an undertone of humility, as seen in, "Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together." This encourages us to find harmony in our connections and embrace life's unpredictability with grace. These lessons are not just theoretical musings but practical advice for navigating the complexity of modern life. From managing stress to fostering authentic relationships, Meditations remains a guide for living with wisdom, courage, and compassion. As we delve further into the hearts and minds of history's great Stoics, let us next examine a core principle that shaped their philosophy, the profound understanding of what we can and cannot control. Now turning to one of the most empowering concepts in Stoicism, the dichotomy of control, we uncover a tool that can transform how we approach life's challenges. At its core, this principle teaches us to separate what we can control from what we cannot. While this idea sounds simple, its practice can profoundly reshape our mindset. Let's break it down with real-life examples. Imagine being stuck in traffic while running late for an important meeting. The traffic itself is beyond your control, but your reaction to it is entirely within your power. Instead of succumbing to frustration, you can choose to use the time constructively, perhaps by practicing deep breathing, planning your next steps, or simply accepting the delay as an unavoidable reality. Another common scenario might involve receiving criticism at work. While you cannot control the opinion of others, you can control how you respond. Instead of letting it derail your confidence, you can evaluate whether the feedback is constructive and use it to improve, or, if it's unwarranted, let it go without allowing it to affect your self-esteem. Here's a practical tip to apply this principle. Whenever faced with a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If the answer is no, shift your focus to how you can respond in a way that aligns with your values. Journaling can also be a powerful Stoic exercise. Jotting down daily situations and categorizing them into what you could and could not control helps reinforce this mindset over time, Another helpful practice is visualization. Picture yourself handling common stressors in a calm, composed way, which conditions your mind to respond effectively when such events occur. By consistently drawing this line between control and lack of control, you conserve emotional energy and avoid unnecessary stress. This ability to focus solely on what is within your power is not about indifference, it's about channeling your efforts where they have the most impact. As we continue exploring Stoic insights, let us next venture into an intriguing, hands-on practice that Stoics embrace to build resilience and gratitude, the art of voluntary discomfort. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we delve into the fascinating science behind voluntary discomfort, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and now supported by modern neuroscience. The idea is surprisingly simple yet transformative. By exposing yourself to manageable levels of discomfort, you train your mind and body to adapt and grow stronger over time. This practice builds resilience, gratitude, and self-control, qualities that Stoics believed were essential to a virtuous and fulfilled life. Let's take intermittent fasting as an example. When you voluntarily go without food for a set period, your body doesn't just adapt physically, it triggers mental resilience too. Studies in neuroscience have shown that fasting increases the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports cognitive function and mental clarity. In other words, by embracing this temporary discomfort, you're not only building self-discipline but also enhancing your brain's capacity to handle challenges. Similarly, cold showers, a modern parallel to Stoic practices, have gained popularity for their benefits in strengthening the mind and body. The initial shock of cold water activates your stress response, and by intentionally calming yourself in the face of discomfort, you teach your brain to better regulate stress in other areas of life. Over time, this trains your mind to remain steady in difficult situations. Voluntary discomfort isn't just about physical challenges, though. It can also include tasks like spending a weekend without using your phone, choosing public transport over a car, or scaling back on unnecessary luxuries. These small sacrifices cultivate gratitude by reminding you of the things you usually take for granted, while also proving to yourself that you can thrive without them. Neuroscience affirms that by stepping out of your comfort zone in controlled, intentional ways, you build neural pathways that make you more adaptable and resilient in facing unexpected hardships. So, the next time you consider a voluntary challenge, remember it's not just a Stoic exercise, it's a scientifically proven method to unlock inner strength and clarity. From harnessing discomfort to mastering harmony with your surroundings, let's move forward to another hallmark of Stoic living, the timeless wisdom of living according to nature. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let's explore the powerful Stoic idea of Amor Fati, which translates to love of fate. This isn't just about accepting what happens in life, it's about embracing it wholeheartedly, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Picture this: Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, faced a devastating event in his later years. His entire laboratory, along with years of work, was consumed by fire. Instead of despairing, he famously told his son to call his mother and friends because they would never see a fire like that again. Edison's mindset exemplifies Amor Fati. He chose to find opportunity and wonder within what most would see as pure tragedy. By embracing this event as part of his life's journey, he freed himself from pointless grief and instead focused on moving forward. In modern life, we can see this same mindset in athletes who come back stronger after injuries. Think of a runner who, after a career-ending injury, adapts and trains to compete in a completely different sport, using their setback as a springboard for growth. This isn't just inspirational, it's a roadmap for how we can all use life's challenges as opportunities to evolve. Amor Fati helps shift your perspective from "why is this happening to me?" to "how can I grow from this?" It's about finding meaning and value in every experience, no matter how difficult. even in small, everyday situations, this mindset can be transformative. Imagine being stuck in traffic rather than stewing in frustration. Amor Fati challenges you to view that time as an opportunity to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply practice patience. By embracing moments of discomfort or inconvenience, you take back control and turn them into tools for growth. Modern psychology aligns with this principle too. Studies show that reframing challenges as opportunities can actually rewire your brain to better handle adversity. Amor Fati is not about forcing positivity. It's about aligning yourself with life as it comes, trusting that every twist and turn contributes to your unique journey. This mindset is not just philosophical, it's practical and deeply empowering. As you reflect on the power of loving your fate, let's move to another cornerstone of Stoicism: its accessibility to people of all beliefs, proving that living a virtuous life is a universal pursuit. Moving forward, let us explore how the timeless wisdom of Stoicism has inspired some of the most effective cognitive behavioral exercises used in modern therapy today. At its core, both Stoicism and cognitive behavioral therapy emphasize the transformative power of our thoughts. How we interpret events can shape our emotional and mental well-being. One such exercise rooted in Stoic philosophy is disputing automatic thoughts. Imagine you face criticism from a colleague at work, and your mind immediately leaps to conclusions like, "I must be terrible at my job." A Stoic approach would encourage you to pause and question the validity of that thought. Is it rational? Is there concrete evidence to support it? This process of challenging unhelpful beliefs mirrors the key CBT practice of cognitive restructuring, helping you replace negative assumptions with balanced, evidence-based perspectives. Another Stoic-inspired tool is reframing situations to highlight their potential benefits or lessons. For instance, let's say you miss a flight. A Stoic mindset, and by extension CBT, might guide you to view the delay as an opportunity for rest or reflection, rather than simply a frustrating inconvenience. This parallels how both philosophies encourage you to shift your focus from what cannot be controlled to what can be improved or appreciated. Stoics like Epictetus often reminded their students that events themselves are neutral. It is our reactions that give them meaning. This idea forms the backbone of many CBT techniques designed to help individuals reinterpret stressors and regain a sense of control. And just like Amor Fati embraces life's ups and downs, CBT encourages the practice of acceptance, recognizing that while some difficulties are unavoidable, how we mentally respond can make all the difference. These practices are not just academic, they are practical tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. Whether by journaling to identify and challenge distorted thoughts or taking a moment to consciously reframe a setback, these small shifts in perspective can lead to profound emotional resilience. As we continue our journey through Stoic principles, let us now reflect on the Stoic perspective on mortality and how it teaches us to live fully by embracing the inevitability of death. Now turning to the profound Stoic practice of Memento Mori, which translates to "remember you must die," we find a life-enhancing reminder that has endured through centuries. Rather than viewing death as a morbid or fearful subject, Stoics regarded it as a motivator to live fully and meaningfully. Today, this ancient idea has found its way into modern tools and practices that help individuals reflect on their mortality in empowering ways. For instance, some people use Memento Mori coins, small tokens inscribed with phrases like, "You could leave life right now," as daily reminders to focus on what truly matters. These coins are often kept in a pocket, on a desk, or even beside a mirror, making the philosophy tangible and ever-present in their lives. Similarly, digital tools like apps designed around Memento Mori principles have gained popularity. Such apps may send daily notifications prompting users to contemplate the finite nature of life or feature countdowns, not to inspire dread, but to instill urgency and clarity about their priorities. Stories abound of individuals who have embraced Memento Mori to transform their approach to life. For example, someone who set aside time every morning to reflect on mortality found it led to deeper appreciation for their loved ones and inspired them to mend fractured relationships. Others report using these reflections to focus on long-neglected passions, like pursuing creative projects or exploring the world, all because they recognize that time is not infinite. The beauty of Memento Mori lies in its ability to encourage gratitude for the present moment while aligning our actions with what truly fulfills us. It serves as a quiet yet powerful compass, steering us toward the activities and connections that bring purpose and joy. By embracing mortality rather than avoiding it, we grant ourselves the freedom to live more intentionally. With this transformative practice in mind, let us now turn our attention to how Stoicism challenges the assumptions around wealth and reveals its deeper teachings about what it means to truly prosper. Now turning to the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we uncover practical ways to integrate these timeless principles into daily life. Starting with wisdom, this virtue is about making decisions rooted in reason and understanding. One way to practice wisdom is by pausing before reacting in emotionally charged situations, asking yourself whether your response aligns with your values or is driven by impulse. For instance, faced with criticism, instead of reacting defensively, take a moment to assess whether there's truth in the feedback and use it as an opportunity for growth. Next, consider courage, which does not have to involve grand, heroic acts but can be seen in everyday moments. It might be as simple as stepping out of your comfort zone to tackle a fear, like speaking up in a meeting or starting a challenging project you've been avoiding. Cultivating courage often means embracing discomfort for the sake of progress and personal growth. Moving to justice, this virtue calls us to treat others fairly and stand up for what is right, even when it is inconvenient. You can practice justice by advocating for someone being treated unfairly or by ensuring your own actions reflect integrity and fairness, such as honoring commitments or giving credit where it is due. Lastly, temperance involves moderation and self-discipline, guiding us to avoid excess and maintain balance. This could mean setting boundaries with social media to focus on more meaningful activities or practicing mindful eating to foster a healthier relationship with food. Together, these virtues form a framework for leading a life of purpose and alignment. By consciously cultivating them, we not only improve our own lives but also positively impact those around us. With these virtues in mind, let us now explore how Aristotle's concept of concentric circles inspires us to expand our compassion and concern to a broader community. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into Aristotle's fascinating idea of concentric circles, a concept that encourages us to expand our care and compassion beyond ourselves. Picture these circles starting with you at the center, radiating outwards to encompass your family, friends, community, and eventually all of humanity. The aim is to gradually blur the boundaries between these circles, treating those farther away from you with the same kindness and concern you would show to those closest. How can we practice this today? Begin with small, deliberate actions. For example, you might extend a helping hand to a neighbor in need or volunteer at a local shelter to make a positive impact in your community. These acts strengthen the connections in your immediate circles while also fostering a sense of shared responsibility for others. Next, consider simple gestures like expressing gratitude to service workers or offering a moment of kindness to strangers, such as helping someone carry heavy bags or listening to someone who needs support. These everyday actions ripple outward, encouraging a more connected and empathetic society. Want to take it further? Participate in initiatives that tackle broader issues, such as environmental conservation efforts or programs supporting marginalized groups. By contributing to causes that benefit the larger circle of humanity, you embody the Stoic principle of living harmoniously with nature and others. The beauty of this idea lies in its simplicity. By widening your circles of concern, you cultivate a more compassionate and purposeful life while inspiring others to do the same. Now, having explored this profound model of interconnectedness, let us turn to the practical tools Stoicism offers for personal growth and inner peace. Now turning to the practical tools Stoicism offers for personal growth and inner peace, let us explore some timeless practices that can easily integrate into your daily life. One highly recommended routine is starting your day with a moment of morning meditation. This does not have to be a lengthy or complicated process. Simply take a few minutes to reflect on the upcoming day and consider how you can approach challenges with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Ask yourself questions like, what is within my control today, and how can I act in alignment with my values? Setting this intention in the morning can frame your mindset for the rest of the day, equipping you to navigate life's uncertainties with clarity and purpose. Another powerful Stoic practice is ending your day with gratitude journaling. Before going to bed, write down a few things you are grateful for or reflect on the actions you took throughout the day. Did you show patience in a difficult situation? Were you able to help someone in need or stay calm under pressure? Recognizing these moments not only reinforces positive behavior but also cultivates a sense of gratitude and growth. Stoics also valued the exercise of premeditatio malorum, or imagining potential challenges before they arise. By calmly visualizing situations that could go wrong, such as an unexpected delay or a disagreement, you mentally prepare yourself to handle them with composure. This practice does not focus on negativity, but instead strengthens resilience by reducing the shock of unforeseen events. Additionally, consider incorporating moments of voluntary discomfort into your routine, such as taking a cold shower or fasting occasionally. These small challenges help build mental toughness and appreciation for life's comforts, a concept deeply rooted in Stoic discipline. As these practices become part of your life, you will find they not only enhance your inner peace, but also allow you to approach the world with greater mindfulness and intention. With these principles laid out, let us now reflect on how Stoicism has shaped modern self-help and continues to inspire countless individuals in their personal journeys. Moving forward, let us address some modern misconceptions about Stoicism that often misrepresent its true essence. One of the most common misunderstandings is the belief that Stoics are unemotional, cold, or detached from others. This stereotype likely stems from the emphasis Stoicism places on mastering emotions rather than being controlled by them. However, this does not mean that Stoics suppress their feelings or avoid meaningful connections. On the contrary, they aim to cultivate warmth, empathy, and rational engagement with the world around them. Stoicism encourages individuals to feel emotions, but it teaches them to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. For example, experiencing sadness or anger is natural, but the Stoic approach involves pausing to reflect on those emotions and choosing a measured response that aligns with one's values. Another misconception is that Stoicism promotes isolation or a lack of care for others. In reality, Stoicism greatly values community and promotes active engagement with humanity. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the interconnectedness of people and our shared responsibility to contribute positively to society. Far from being indifferent, Stoics strive to act with kindness, fairness, and justice in their interactions. These misinterpretations may have arisen over time due to the philosophical language used in classical Stoic texts or a superficial understanding of the teachings. It is also important to consider how media and culture have sometimes oversimplified Stoicism into a caricature of emotional detachment. Yet when examined deeply, Stoicism is a philosophy of compassion, reason, and mindful living. By dispelling these myths, we can better appreciate its profound lessons for building stronger relationships and contributing to the greater good. Now, with these misconceptions clarified, let us journey further into the enduring influence of Stoicism on Western philosophy and its role in shaping ethical thought. Now turning to the remarkable influence of Stoicism on Western philosophy, we find that its impact extends far beyond the ancient world. Stoic principles have significantly shaped the ideas of some of history's most celebrated thinkers, including René Descartes and Immanuel Kant. At its core, Stoicism emphasizes rationality, self-discipline, and ethical living, ideas that resonate strongly with the philosophical frameworks of these later thinkers. For René Descartes, often referred to as the father of modern philosophy, the Stoic focus on reason and control over emotions paralleled his belief in the supremacy of rational thought. Descartes' famous statement, "I think, therefore I am," reflects a rationalist worldview that aligns with the Stoic emphasis on mastering the mind to guide actions. Similarly, Immanuel Kant's ethical philosophy, particularly his concept of the categorical imperative, echoes Stoic ideals. The Stoics believed that individuals should act according to universal principles of justice, fairness, and virtue, regardless of personal desires or external circumstances. This ties closely to Kant's idea that one should act in a way that their behavior could become a universal law, essentially, doing what is right simply because it is right. Moreover, Stoic teachings on interconnectedness and the shared bonds of humanity influenced the development of moral philosophy in the Western tradition. The Stoic idea that we are all part of a larger whole, bound by reason and nature, laid the groundwork for later concepts of universal human dignity and rights. These philosophical threads, woven from ancient Stoicism, demonstrate how deeply this school of thought influenced the ethical structures and intellectual traditions that continue to shape our world today. With this enduring legacy in mind, let us now explore how Stoicism has made its way into modern culture, including its surprising presence in popular media and contemporary storytelling. Now turning to Stoicism's surprising presence in modern pop culture, it is fascinating to see how this ancient philosophy has seamlessly woven itself into some of the most iconic stories and characters of our time. Take, for example, Maximus from the blockbuster movie Gladiator. His unwavering focus on duty, his ability to remain calm under immense pressure, and his acceptance of fate even in the face of personal tragedy all reflect key Stoic principles. Maximus embodies the Stoic ideal of living with purpose and courage, regardless of external circumstances. Similarly, Neo from the groundbreaking film The Matrix serves as another example of Stoic-inspired storytelling. Neo's journey of self-discovery, his commitment to freeing humanity, and his acceptance of the reality he cannot change align with the Stoic teachings of embracing reason, acting justly, and finding meaning in adversity. Beyond the silver screen, Stoicism has also found a home in contemporary self-help literature. Many best-selling books draw directly from Stoic wisdom, offering readers practical tools to cultivate resilience, improve emotional control, and lead lives of greater clarity and purpose. Authors like Ryan Holiday have brought Stoicism into the mainstream with works such as The Daily Stoic, which repackage ancient ideas for modern readers seeking personal growth and mental strength. Even in television, characters who face complex moral dilemmas often exhibit Stoic traits, such as prioritizing virtue over personal gain or remaining steadfast in the face of chaos. These modern interpretations of Stoicism, whether in entertainment or literature, demonstrate its timeless relevance and ability to address the universal challenges of the human experience. By showcasing these enduring themes, pop culture acts as a bridge, connecting us to the profound wisdom of this ancient philosophy in a way that feels fresh and relatable. Now, as we continue our exploration of Stoicism's surprising impact, let us shift our focus to its profound influence on the realm of personal development and self-help. As we conclude our journey through the 15 surprising facts about the Stoic way of life, It's clear that Stoicism is far more than an ancient philosophy. It is a practical guide to living a life of purpose, resilience, and clarity. From mastering emotions and distinguishing between what we can and cannot control, to embracing concepts like Amor, Fati, and living according to nature, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom for the challenges of today. Its influence, spanning from Roman emperors to modern therapy practices and even pop culture, highlights its remarkable ability to remain relevant across centuries. At its core, Stoicism is about aligning our actions with virtue, focusing on what truly matters, and finding peace irrespective of external circumstances. As you reflect on these principles, consider adopting just one Stoic practice into your daily routine, whether it's a morning meditation, journaling, or practicing gratitude. These small steps can lead to profound changes in how you approach life's ups and downs. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which fact resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation about finding wisdom in the ancient to thrive in the modern. If you enjoyed this exploration of Stoicism, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more content about ancient wisdom and modern living. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep striving for wisdom and clarity in every moment.